got his bachelor's degree at Illinois University in architecture. And then he went to University of California at Berkeley, and he got his master's.
Well, let's get started with this demo tonight. And what I have done is I have penciled it in so we don't have to do that. And I have also done this. Now, what I do when I do any painting, any plein air painting, the first thing I do is I do a field study. Can you see it okay? So this field study is about 3.5 inches by 4 3/4 inches. No larger than that. If you get larger than that, it becomes a painting. And you don't want to get into it so much that it's becoming a painting. It's just a quick study, and I try to do this in under 15 minutes. They usually take me about 12 minutes to do. And what I do is I pencil it in, and then I do the painting the way I think I'm going to do the larger painting. And I do it in the same order. I put the colors down in the same order. I use the colors that I think I'm going to use on the bigger painting. And I plan the entire painting right here in this little study. And I will tell you that you have a road map, you plan. I think any good watercolor, you have to plan it very carefully, and then you have to hope for accidents to make it exciting. And that's what we're going to do tonight. So I'm going to start off, I'm using a block, 14 by 20, and it's arches, cold pressed, and I'm going to start just by putting some water on the sky. In the sky. So typically in a watercolor we like to do work from the distance close. So I tell people when you draw, you do close to far, and when you paint, you go far to close. So I'm just painting around my land shapes, and going right down to my all this, all the way down to my water. Now that's not quite enough water, so I'm going to turn it around now. I'm going to turn it upside down. One thing that I like to do when I paint is I like to have a Kleenex ready so I can blot paint off when I need to do that. So I'm going to do another coat like this. Do that. Now that's two coats. I'm going to do a third one. What happens is, if you do this, you've got to get enough water. That's the main thing you want to do when you want to do one of these wet on wet skies, where you hope for something magical to happen. So I'm adding some more water, especially near the edges. The edges always dry faster than the inside areas. So that should be enough. If I go like this, and like this, well, I don't know. I think maybe it needs a little bit more. And you have to have enough water so that when you tip the paper, you can see it running. And that's the secret to this. Okay, so now I'm going to start with my lightest color. So I got my brush and my blue.
Do you normally start with the lightest color first?
Yes. Yeah. If I'm going to use yellow, if you're going to use yellow, I recommend always starting with the yellow, because the yellow that's when to put it down. You put the yellow down first. So let's see. Okay. So there's some yellow. And I'm going to put some reddish orange. Put that in, some right near the okay. Take some blue. You really can't think about painting. You can't think about painting the sky. You've got to just kind of put it down and then. Okay, now, do I have enough? I don't know. I don't think I need a little bit more. You always have to put more than you think you need. So now let's go and see what we can do here with this. So we get this to run. I have to let it face me for a minute here because I want to, well, you can see it that way. Yeah. See, this blends the colors together. And then you can take a nice Chinese brush, and what I do is I take the brush and I pull it on the rag. I lay it down and I pull it on the rag like that, and then it gets thirsty, and I can just go in here with the point of the brush and remove puddles. I'm going to go ahead and just do a little bit of this here. See if I can do just a little bit of this. There was some spots there I wanted to get off anyway, so that's good. There we go. Okay, looks okay. Don't really like that either, but what can you do? You got that stuff there, but you know that's watercolor. What can you do? So it's the overall design and the overall effect that you really want to get right. So you see I'm continuing to remove puddles. We have the paints coming down more and more, and you can see how it's starting to lighten up. Okay, so while this is drying, I don't want to do anything that's going to touch my sky, because if I touch the sky, what's going to happen? It's going to soak up whatever that color is. Even if I just touch it one little spot, it's going to do that. So I'm going to stay away from that, and I'm going to come down here and I'm going to start painting some of my beach. And take a little bit of yellow here. And let's just see what we get here. Just go. And I'm just doing wet on dry. So we have 4 different ways we can paint with watercolor, right? What are they?
Wet on wet, wet on dry, dry on dry, and what's up?
Dry and wet.
Yeah.
Thank you. There. That's good. And I'm going to add just a little bit of red to that. Maybe right here.
What yellow are you using?
I'm using actually 2 yellows. I've got cerulean and cadmium, both. But when I use the cadmium, I'm very, very careful to keep it very, very watery, because cadmium is a real thick, heavy color. So you have to be very careful to keep it there. Keep it watery, keep it transparent. I don't want to have anything opaque. So now I'm going to take some blue, and I'm just going to add some blue to that. And of course, blue and orange makes. Thank you. So that everything that we do has to have a change of color or value every inch. Every inch of the painting, I want some different value or color. Every inch. And then it doesn't get too boring. That same color over here now. So I like to, when I teach, I always suggest that people jump their colors. I call it jumping the colors. You jump the colors from one side to the other. So if I have some of that there, I want some of that there, I have some blue there, maybe I want some blue down here too. So I've already got some blue down here from up there down there, so we're jumping the colors. I have to work fast, otherwise I will get dry lines. When you're working wet on dry, you have to work fast or you get dry lines. I'm going to get rid of that edge. I'm going to lose this edge right here like that. See that? Lose that edge. I don't want a hard edge there. I don't mind this hard edge here. So I think we'll take a little bit of blue now again over here and put some of that up here like that. And we did the same like we did down there.
What blue are you using?
Cobalt. So I think what I'll do next is maybe this cliff down here. So anyway, we got that. Now let's go, well, that's before that dries. I'm talking too much. I'll get some more blue in there. See, blend that a little bit there. Good. Oh, this is fun. Okay. I think I'll just go like this, like that. There we go. Okay.
Robert, are you completely retired or semi-retired?
Retired? I'm tired. I'm not retired. How that is. So I'm going to try now. I'm going to try to go up and do this up here now again. But it's not going back into it, so that's good. I'm going to leave some white. I'll leave some white there, and I'm going to come down here, leave some white there, leave a little bit of white here. So I want to have the land shapes coming down and touching the sand, and then I want them to come and show the contour of the sand. So the sand is going down, so I make sure that I make that go down, you know, down the beach like that. Yeah, so that's good. That looks good. I like all that, it's fine. Maybe a little bit. Maybe I need some, no, back into this while it's still wet. Some of this dark. So, orange and blue makes gray. I like that. Okay, this looks pretty good. There we go. I'll get a few stripes. Light that up a little bit there. That's good. Okay, I'm going to do the water now, and the first thing I'm going to do is take a smaller brush, and I'm going to put in these these rocks using burnt sienna and some cobalt blue. Okay, it's a nice dark blue-brown color. And then for the rocks, I I lay the brush down. I don't, and just make it just a brush stroke, like that. Oh, you're so attentive. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking a little bit of the top of these rocks off. I'm removing a little bit of the pigment from the top. So maybe I can also do a little bit of Kleenex like that, just to put some variety into those rocks. Oh, that looks good, I like that. A nice big rock right here. Let's put that in. Nice dark rock. And when the rocks hit the water, they have a flat bottom, so I want that to be there. And then if I want to put a reflection in, I can put a reflection in the water like that. And maybe to take a little bit of the top off of the rock there, make it look round. Maybe just a little bit of, there we go. There, nice rock. And then, let's put some more rocks here, like this. That'd be right. This whole big area, kind of. Now, I like this over here because it helps to balance the heaviness from over here, so it helps to balance the painting by putting this over here. And then you notice that I left it kind of light right here because I want this to be my entrance into my painting right here. So a little bit of blotting there on the top of that rock. There we go. Another rock in there, another one there. There we go. Good. Now, maybe we have some little rocks down in here. Okay. And we'll do more of that later. So now let's do the water. Now the water is what I do when I do water, and I wanted to show you, I think I have a painting down here. Let's see if I can. You can see how I've used, can you see this okay? Yeah. I've used a very, very thin lines back here, and they keep getting thicker and thicker and thicker, these strokes, and they get bigger, bigger, and finally the biggest down here. So what that is, we call that a density gradient. I have not seen this talked about in any water book that I own, and I own a lot of them. And it's a very effective way of showing distance on a flat plane. So it could be a field of grass or wheat or something, or rice, or it could be water. Anytime you have a flat plane, density gradient. So that's what I'm going to do. But I only have a small opportunity to do this here, so I'm not going to. So I'm not going to do too much of it. But I'm going to take my first line, and it's got to be very, very straight. Go straight across like that. Has to be very, very horizontal and level. Because as you know, our Earth is round, but when we look at it in the distance, it looks flat. Doesn't it? Except if you're up in the air, in the airplane sometimes it looks. Now I'm going to put another one here. And I'm going to leave some little white areas between my line. I'm doing a larger line now. And that will indicate the breakers that are coming in. Maybe even stop in certain places where maybe there's a breaker coming in. Like that. Now let's do one more. Let's change the color a little bit, make it a little bit brighter. Do another one. This time I'm actually going to show my breakers. I'm going to show some waves, some wave action there. Because that's what was happening when I was there last Sunday. It was really, oh, it's a beautiful day there, it was warm. And there must have been 500 people out there. But I don't like to put a lot of people in. There, so let's see the breakers there. And then I like it to be, not too populated.
What's the color mix you're using for the water?
I am using a mixture of cobalt blue and I believe some burnt sienna. Yeah. Sometimes I put a little bit of green in it, and I think I will do some green for the as we get down to the foreground. But you see how I'm getting the waves? I don't know if you can see that, but I'm trying to get it look like the waves coming in. And now I'm going to take maybe a little bit bigger brush. Okay, and let's just do. I think I'll take a little bit of blue and I'll put some meridian green with this. There we go. And then I'm going to just come in here and do just a few. The hardest part in watercolor painting is leaving whites. And not, treasuring your whites, not getting too carried away by filling up everything with paint. And also not going back over stuff. You want to just put it down and leave it alone as much as you can. If you keep going back over stuff, it just looks way over painted. So I'm going to let that all be white there. Even take some of that out, like that. That there. I'm just going to leave that now. And I may go back and put something in later, but right now I'm just going to leave it. And now I am going to put some green. I'm going to use some Hooker's green with some burnt sienna. And I just go in here and put some I think I'll put some yellow in here. Let's see. That can come down. Put some over here. Some darker green now. Trees. There. Wow. Isn't that great? Exciting. So when we do trees, trick is always to do, well, most always, to do the foliage first. Foliage first and then the rest. Okay. Okay. And then maybe I'll put just a little bit of green right in here also. Okay. That's good. This is just too light. I want that to be darker. I'm going to try to make that darker. Right in here. That's better. I want that to be nice and dark. You just try too light, you know? Just as, you think it's going to dry right, and then it's too light. Okay. So now I'm softening that edge, losing it. Do the same thing over here. Okay, that's better. Now let's put the trunks in and the branches. So there's one tree that comes up here like this. When you go there, you'll see it. It's a dead tree, and it kind of looks like that. And this one would be the next one. And then I put another one over here. I want to be careful that I don't space them equally. All right, now I'm going to take Chinese brush. And I'm going to mix up some dark color. Here, we could just use this. Sometimes I just don't have to mix new paint. I just take what I already have on here. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to spread my brush like that. Can you see that? I'm spreading it. Yeah. So it looks like that. And I'm going to just kind of try and do some of these textures. Like that. Let's see, what I'm going to like this and come back down like that. Just a very light touch. Yeah, that's good. Okay, now, I want to maybe go a little bit darker. Over here. Just a little bit darker over here. I don't like to have light corner at the bottom here because that brings the viewer's eye off the sheet, and I want to keep my audience interested in the painting. I don't want to lose them. So there. And then I'm going to put some of that same color over here. So that doesn't take you off there either. There we go. That's good. Now, the only other thing we need to do, I think, is to get some seaweeds and rocks and stuff in here to kind of show the contours of the sand. Yeah, maybe put some right in here. See all the white I have in here. A lot of whites. I feel study, I've got a bunch of stuff coming down here. I'll just do that. I have to keep it very random. I can't make it look like it's got any pattern to it. It has to be very, just like nature, you know. It's very random. And then a little bit here. Some there in my field study. You can see the field study there. I got that one coming up there. And a whole bunch of stuff over here. So this adds a lot of interest in the painting, so it's not all. So the first step, the first stage of the painting is just doing what I call the stage set. Setting the stage with the sky and the main shapes, and then now we just put in a few of the details and makes it all more interesting. I get the question all the time, how do you know when you're finished? It's always, you know, you don't want to overwork it. So I'm going to put a little bit more here. I'm almost finished. What time is it? Hey! Not too bad. Too bad. I was going to put a figure in. I don't know, do you want me to do that, or are you ready to? They say that the mind can only absorb as much as the seat can endure.
If you were going to put a figure, where would you put it?
I was going to put it right about here. Right about on the third point, right about here. So I try to be careful that I don't have things ending on the center point here, or have a horizon going through the center here. So these are over, see that's over on that third, and this is third here, so it's not halfway, but it comes down more. I can even make this come down a bit more here if I wanted to. Right there. Yeah. Put the figure in. Oh, you want me? Yes or no? Yes?
Yes.
Do you have time?
Yes.
Okay, so let's put the figure in. A couple figures. Actually, I should put one figure or three, right? One or three. So let's see. So anyway, there's that, and then I'm going to put some shoulders. Let's see, what color do people wear to the beach? Huh? I just did that color. Okay, and then some arms. Get some blue jeans. So in the workshop, we're going to do these people. Show you how to do it fast and easy. There we go. Let's just do a little